Hello everybody and welcome back to the next part of the demo for Under the Heavens, a Warring States Saga. Carrying on with Kian here, as he has finally got his promotion from a recruit. He's been pressed into service now as a 5-man leader, because needs must, we must go to war. The march to the Yellow River is nothing like the drills or training. It feels heavier, darker. Cold wind cuts through the ranks, seeps into every 5-man unit struggling to keep pace. Your recruits fall behind you, whispering questions among themselves. Ahead, veterans stare forward with sunken eyes, already bracing for what waits. Then you see him. General Kai Feng, the man ordered to hold a river with an army assembled in 4 frantic days. He rides slowly along the column, studying faces drawn from every corner of the kingdom. Villages, border forts, unfinished training camps. Faces too young or too raw for a stand like this. Faces that tremble when they believe no one is watching. His jaw tightens at the sight. 30,000 soldiers, too few hardened ones, too many recruits. Against a host led by General Jin Haron, famous for striking hard and fast till armies buckle under the weight of his momentum. General Kai Feng halts near the riverbank, watching engineers dig trenches and plant stakes in soil still soft from yesterday's rain. The line looks fragile, a thin shell braced against a hammer already in motion. Officers exchange glances that tell the story they can't say out loud. He is undermanned, he is unready, and he has no choice but to stand. It whispers within the command tent, carrying another truth. General Kai Feng was not sent here because he lacked skill, he was sent here because he had too much. Court rivals have long feared his rise. Every campaign he won pushed him closer to the title of Great General, a title they blocked with quiet hands and polished smiles. Now they place him on the front, meant to crush him. If he fails, they will call it fate. If he succeeds, the court will have to bow to the miracle they tried to prevent. This river will test more than the army, to test whether a worthy commander can rise despite those who buried his path. So Kai Feng is, he's down here at the bottom left. He's within National High Command. He's only a general, not a great general, and certainly not a supreme commander. But if he wins, he'll presumably take over one of these guys' spots. If he loses, someone else will take his space, I imagine. Civilians flee past your column, carrying whatever they can salvage. Smoke twists upwards from villages already lost. Scouts ride past with frantic reports. The enemy burns everything behind them. They advance without hesitation, and they've reached the basin outskirts. The tension in the camp is visible now. As the sun lowers, messengers rush into the command tent. General Kai Feng dismounts and enters, surrounded by officers delivering dire reports. A horn cuts through the air. Senior and junior officers prepare for war council. You hear it and know what it means. Whatever happens next will not be a drill. The command tent is cramped with tension, filled with high-ranking officers. Some pulled from the retreating brigade, some still wear torn armour. 5-man and 10-man leaders, even a few 100-man captains, circle the edges, straining to catch fragments of what's being said. The air smells of cold earth, ink, and fear held tightly in clenched jaws. General Kai Feng stands over a rough map. The Yellow River sweeps across the centre of it in a wide arc, deeper into Key's territory than any of you expected a stand to be made. He begins without ceremony. Yan forces under General Yin Haron, 40,000. He pauses, jaw tight. The commander attacks us with speed and pressure. He will test us hard. We will not break. He marks 3 points along the river with deliberate heavy strokes. 5,000-man commander Daiming holds the centre. Bai Ren holds the left. Chen Yu the right. I retain 10,000 reserves to reinforce collapsing sectors as needed. A murmur ripples through the tent. Someone whispers too loudly. That makes 25,000. Where are the other 5? Eyes shift. Math that does not add up is making soldiers uneasy. The general pretends not to hear it. Then an officer from the staff asks the questions everyone is too afraid to raise. General, what of 5,000-man commander Liu Sheng and his men? The general's gaze lowers for the first time. They have another assignment. The quiet cuts like a blade. Another assignment at a time like this, when they are undermanned and the enemy approaches with overwhelming force. The murmurs turn darker. Does he want us to fail? We needed all 30,000 here. Why send 5,000 away? The captain tries to shush the tent, but the doubt remains thick as smoke. General Kaifeng steels himself. All of you must understand. What happens at this river will decide whether the basin falls. Hold your sectors. Every moment we endure shapes the battles to come. Or the battle to come, even. He finally looks up, looking eyes to officers ranked across experience and weariness. This army was assembled in 4 days. You can't win on strength. You'll win by refusing to yield, not a step backward. The tension in the tent shifts. Fear mixed with reluctant resolve. He steps back from the map. My general staff will deliver your assignments. Prepare your units. The enemy advances without stopping. A staff officer unrolls a new scroll, calling out instructions. 3 choices lie before you as the tent empties. Let's find the captain, ask for guidance. You spot the captain from training, speaking with a group of officers. You approach quickly. He turns to you, eyes sharp, recognizing you immediately. Lost? Good. Every sane man should be. Go get your orders, and remember, fear is fine. Letting fear lead is not. You follow his advice and retrieve your assignment from the staff table. Southern Bend Sector, under Commander Chen Yu. Move fast. Captain words echo as you leave the tent. Day 1, first light. The southern bend of the Yellow River looks worse up close. Rain swollen, mud clings to your boots, debris from the retreating brigade's collapse still chokes the shoreline. The ground shifts under your weight, soft enough to betray footing the moment pressure hits. This is where you will stand. A field captain places the bank, shouting over the dull echo of distant Yan drums. Clear your ground, stabilize this bend. If this sector folds, the right flank goes with it. Your recruits exchange nervous glances. The air tastes of cold earth and tightening fear. Choose how you prepare your sector. We are defensive, I believe. That's what we're good at. I can remember how to actually... It's over here, I think. Yeah, we're defensive. We're not really going to be good at doing anything aggressive. And we're not particularly good at scout. We're okay at scouting. We're not good at pressure. We're not good at flanking. We're not good at being aggressive. You are the foundation let's build on. You hold ground with discipline. We need to make use of that. We're going to stabilise the ground and dig in. Apparently that gives us aggressiveness. That's not quite what I would have thought for standing on ground, but I guess not. You dig channels, drive stakes deep, and carve out firmer footing. It is slow, brutal work, forcing the ground to obey through sheer effort and will. The work is finished. Sweat cuts through the cold. Your hands are raw, you're breathing heavy. Around you, other units complete their own preparations. Some dig frantically, others stand rigid in formation, repeating drills until muscle remembers what fear forgets. The field captain returns, surveying the bend with narrowed eyes. He says nothing, but the nod is enough. Your sector will hold, or it will not. Either way, you've done what you could. The sun climbs higher. The distant drums grow louder. Yan is coming. 10,000 men lie on the riverbanks like a wall of iron in desperation. Across the water, Yan's banners ripple. A black tide waiting to surge. Your hand tightens on your weapon. General Jin Ha-ron, known for breaking defenders through relentless pressure, sends small detachments forward toward every sector like a man testing the strength of a clay pot. These are measured thrusts meant to read the ground, the footing, the nerves of the hastily built defence. Your own commander reacts in kind. Signal flags rise along the riverbank. Officers pass hurried orders to tighten lines, correct spacing, and mark unstable soil. The enemy is ready to test you, too. The first warning comes from the left sector. Shadows shift across the far bank as a disciplined probing unit advances. Shields raised, steps steady. Their posture says everything. We're not here to kill you yet, we're here to learn. Arrows hiss. Thin space shots meant to study reactions. Field captain shouts, "Hold positions, do not overreach." Your men stiffen. The lead skirmisher hesitates as his boot catches on one of the uneven footing patches you carved out earlier, slowing the approach by a heartbeat. We can anchor, let them come, shift to stable ground. With 1 to 3 steps being the 1 our turns. We're not aggressive. We can anchor, we can let them come to us. Yes, be defensive. You anchor your line, shields tight, waiting for them to come. Your men move with you, following your lead. Across the water, the probe closes, measured and patient, as it already knows where to strike. The first clash comes fast, and your decision becomes the verdict. Okay, our traits and our preparation is doing good here. That is a very strong success. 8 skirmishers advance, you read the rhythm instantly, your men tighten their spacing. Huang Yao steps forward with perfect timing. Good man yourself, twisting aside the lead strike and driving the attacker back. You kill one enemy cleanly and injure another. A horn sounds and the probe breaks off early. They expected weakness, they found backbone. Good. Across the river, the An's formations begin to shift. General Jin Haron, after reading the morning probes, makes his move. Reports flow through his ranks. Instability in the centre, hesitation on the left, but the greatest fracture lies on the right flank. He wastes no time. A broad banner display rises over his left wing. 5,000 troops detached in perfect discipline, wheeling towards your army's right. Dust climbs behind them like a brewing storm. Your own commander reacts instantly. General Kai Feng sends warning signals from the ridge. Scouts race across the line, led by Fang Ji. 2,000 reserves scramble to reinforce the right flank. But their footing is uneven and their formation not yet settled. The enemy arrives faster. A thunderous roar erupts in the sector north of you. 5,000 Yan infantry crash into the weakened line. Shields don't buckle, they shatter. Men are thrown backwards, bones snapping, throats torn by the sheer pressure of bodies compressing. The formation bends, and bends further, then splits with a sound like tearing fabric. Blood sprays into the air in crimson mist. Right flank is folding. Wounded soldiers are up towards your position, some have lost their weapons, some are dragging men who aren't going to make it. The mud churns into soup. Officers are shouting over each other, voices cracking, hoarse from hours of battle. The orders don't match up. The line isn't retreating in one direction, it's coming apart in several. The enemy spearhead is driving through the gap, unstoppable, hungry, aimed directly at your throat. This is where you die. Unless. Your recruits grip their weapons. Breathe sharp and uneven. Or breath sharp and uneven. Huang Yo moves to your side. His stance is steady, eyes not on the collapsing flank. He mutters quietly, "We hold here, or the river folds." The spillover slams towards your bend. How do you respond? We're going to stay defensive. Pull the broken ranks behind you, form a wall. You anchor yourself and pull the retreating soldiers behind your line. Your 5 form a wall. With your order, your file move at once, because hesitation here is death. The spillover surges closer, joining the bank in screaming, mud and steel. Come on. That's really bad. That's really bad. Soldiers are wounded. That's a failure. You manage to absorb a few retreating soldiers, but the enemy wedge hits your position with brutal momentum. Blades flash in tight quarters, mud turns slick with blood. Your line buckles. A recruit takes a deep slash on the ribs as you force a partial hold. A veteran beside you falls to an enemy spear. Panic ripples through your lane. 1,000-man commander Fang Ji arrives with a smaller force to plug the breach. His men drive stakes into mud and shuffle units to close ranks, but the right wing is deteriorating fast. There is shouting, confusion, and despair. The enemy keeps advancing, and no one thinks they'll let up before sundown. Shadows grow longer, but the blood doesn't stop flowing. Across the basin, General Jin Haron's command banner shifts, a signal every officer recognizes instantly, and your stomach drops. He's committing everything. Another 5,000 soldiers pour towards the right flank, fresh troops who haven't tasted battle yet running at a full sprint. The pressure on your flank doubles, the sound is not a charge, it is a collapse waiting to happen. At the same time, 5,000 more sweep towards the left and centre, just to pin them in place like insects on a board. He wants to break through here, now, before the sun drops and robs him of victory. Your general sees it too. General Kai Feng rides down from the ridge, full gallop, armor caked with mud. He's shouting orders from the front. He rides between collapsing units and shoves officers back into position. The men still see him up and hold their ground a few minutes longer, but even that isn't enough. Your set has been fighting for hours. Your men's movements are sluggish. Armor weighs like stone. Sweat stings your eyes until everything blurs, and your weapon arm shakes with fatigue so deep it feels like you're drowning on dry land. You desperately wait for the sun to drop. The enemy arrives before it does. A shout goes up across the battlefield. Commander down! Commander down! Your turn. 1,000-man Commander Fang Ji is on the ground. The men around him pull back by reflex. Standing over him is a monster, a towering 3,000-man commander of Yan, Zhao Feng. Interesting. His blade is wider than any you've seen used in the field, dripping crimson. He revels in the kill. He cuts through the retreating soldiers without slowing. Every swing has a destination, and something is always in the way. Your sector is next. If no one stops him, if he breaks through here, everyone dies. You turn to Huang Yao. Hold this line, you say. He freezes not from fear, but from understanding. Qian, you can't hold the line. He swallows and nods once. Huang, you're being a good second in command. If you live, you're my number 2. Zhao Feng lifts his blade again, head tilting as he scans for the next obstruction. Then his gaze finds you. The soldiers between you scatter out of the way, cuts down 2 more of them in passing without breaking stride. You don't think. Your body moves on its own. Muscle memory from drills you hated during a training week that felt like a year. Your 5-man unit shouts your name, but the sound fades. The world contracts to 2 points, you and him. He bares his teeth in something like a smile, lifts his blade, and charges with terrifying speed. The duel begins. Zhao Feng closes the distance faster than a man in that much armor should be able to. His blade is already moving. There's blood on it that is not yours yet. He wants to test you first. A predator gauging new prey. Up close he's even more terrifying. The stench of blood and sweat rolling off him in waves, blade notched in a dozen places. His eyes carry the ease of a man who has killed many officers and remembers none of them. You're not the first desperate fool to stand in his way, but maybe you can be the first to survive it. Your men shout behind you, but their voices drown under the pounding in your ears. How do you meet his opening approach? Keep distance and study him. Step in sharply interrupt his rhythm, that's a bad idea. Or brace. No, keep distance and study. You circle, forcing him to adjust his footing instead of charging straight through you. His shoulders roll before each strike. His weight favours the left side when he commits. You watch the exchange unfold carefully, you record it as it happens. The distance closes with the inevitability of impact. Whatever you choose, you're already inside it. The next moment decides everything. 11's not bad. That's okay, at least. Success with cost. The collision sends sparks spraying into the air, bright orange stars against the gathering dusk. Your blade catches his at the perfect angle, redirecting the killing force just enough. His eyes narrow with interest. You have earned his attention. Something in his stance changes. Lower, heavier. The playfulness drains from his eyes and his shoulders drop. His weapon rises with a terrible deliberation. This is no longer a test. This is an execution. Your lungs burn, sweat streams into your eyes, blurring your vision. Your weapon arm shakes with exhaustion so deep it feels like the bones themselves are vibrating. His blade lifts, slow and inevitable. He's done playing. How do you answer this escalation? Target his weapon arm. I don't know if that's going to be good. Drive forward and deny him space, or defend tight, conserve strength. We're all about defensiveness, aren't we? We're not particularly aggressive, we're very defensive and good at discipline and formation. We're not good at pressure. So that suggests to me we should bide our time. Defend tight and conserve strength. You tighten your guard and lower your centre of gravity. You force your breath back into a rhythm. The tremor in your arms, you absorb it. He is stronger than you. He is not faster than his own weight. You're waiting for him to overreach. He moves first. The world contracts to the sound of steel tearing air. Come on, we got this. We don't got this. We really don't got this. We sincerely don't got this. That's bad. His blade crashes through your guard and bites deep into your shoulder. The impact drives you into the mud, breath torn from your lungs. He simply steps forward to finish it. The ground shifts under his forward steps, thick with blood and churned mud. His killing stroke drops a fraction too low. The duel has collapsed into a single decisive point. Everything else, the battlefield, the screaming, the dying, fades into background static. There is only you and him. His breath comes in ragged gasps, blood streams down his flank, where you wounded him, but his eyes still burn with that terrible, exhilarating hunger. Your muscles scream, every fibre in your body is on fire. Your weapon feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. Sweat and blood make your grip slippery. The sound of the battle around you has gone distant. You're still inside it, but your ears aren't processing it the same way anymore. The sun is getting low. The mud has gone the colour the sky is. This is it. One of you walks away, the other feeds the mud. He charges with pure, murderous intent. How do you meet him? We're not going to commit everything, because we're not going to win that. Could sidestep, strike the gap. Hold, let him break. You root your feet in the mud and tighten your guard. If he wants you dead, he will have to carve through iron first. If he ever commits, even for a breath, you'll be there to take it from him. You tighten your guard to its smallest form and lock your stance. His shadow swallows you. There is no retreat from this distance. Oh, why are we getting such bad traits? Or such bad skill, and the injuries made that worse. His blade comes down, clean, practice certain. You see it coming, too late to change anything, your arms are too heavy to lift in time. Steel tears across your side. The pain hits all at once, everywhere. Your vision goes. You collapse on your knee, blood pours down your flank, warm and slick. His blade rises for the killing stroke, then Huang Yao crashes into him with a desperate roar. No technique, just raw instinct. Enemy horns sound for nightfall. The commander stumbles back. He looks at you through the gathering dark. One word, quiet enough that the battlefield almost covers it. Tomorrow. Your men finally reach you. They don't speak, they can't. Breathless and blood-streaked, they stare at you like a ghost, as if you should be dead, and they're not sure you're real. One of them, hands shaking, reaches out to touch your arm. You are solid, you are here. Before anyone can find words, the evening horn rolls across the riverfront, deep, mournful, the sound of the day dying. Both armies begin to withdraw, movements slow to stumbling, weapons drag through mud. Soldiers limp or are carried. The battlefield isn't empty, it just stops fighting. Groans and distant sobbing. The wet sound of medics trying to save men who are already gone. The day dies with a taste of blood in your mouth. The darkness doesn't bring peace, it just hides the horror until morning forces you to look at it again. Torches flicker in the wind, the cries of the wounded carry across the camp. Bodies lie beneath weighted cloth, armour is stacked in heaps beside blood-darkened bandages. The first task is treatment. You fade in and out as medics drag you towards the healer's ridge. Heat washes across your wounds as boiling water hisses in metal bowls, and cloth tears. Bitter herbs sting the air. Your unit kneel nearby helpless. He's barely breathing, Huang Yao whispers. We have to get him to the surgeon. He'll make it, he has to, Yang Kui says, trying to sound confident, but failing to hide the fear. He's strong. The pain drags you under before you can hear how the council judged the day. Across the ridge, officers gather in the command tent. The air inside is thick with smoke, sweat, and dread. Reports are delivered one after another. Right flank 612 dead. Over 2,000 wounded. Centre heavy pressure. Wounded still being counted. Left holding. 700 dead. 700 wounded. 143 dead. With spirits shaken. Total effective strength lost today. Approximately 3,000. 1,000 man commander. Fang Ji. Confirmed killed. Tension hangs in the air. Another officer steps forward. The enemy smelled fear on the right. They will strike there with everything tomorrow. General Kai Feng nods once. Then the right must not break. He points to a position on the map. 3,000 man Commander Zhao Lin. Take 2,000 from the reserves. Reinforce the right bend at dawn. His finger presses into the earth. They will throw everything at that bend. If it breaks, the basin opens, and we deny them. Zhao Lin steps forward. He studies the map for a long moment, then bows. Understood. Kai Feng's voice drops to a harsh whisper. The right collapses tomorrow, the basin falls. That cannot happen. The council disperses. The voices fade. The world swims, slipping out of focus as the torchlight distorts around you. You try to hold on, to catch to something real, but your body gives way beneath you. You slip back into darkness, something heavier and deeper than sleep. Your body floats in a void where pain exists but can't quite reach you yet. Voices drift through the black, muffled and urgent. Bleeding. And get the surgeon, stay with us. Then, nothing. You wake to pale morning light and the taste of copper. Your file is slumped around you, still in armour, blades within reach. When your eyes focus, Huang Yao notices first. He's awake. Relief breaks across their faces. Huang Yao leans closer. You went down hard. Took 3 of us to drag you back. Doesn't matter. You're breathing. The camp horns sound outside. A new day begins, whether you are ready or not. Day 2, Dawn's Reprieve. Dawn comes slow over the basin. The right flank has been rebuilt overnight. Tighter, smaller, harder. Your sector is reduced, thin by casualties, but reinforced by new arrivals. The 3,000 man commander Zhao Lin with 2,000 fresh reserves. General Kai Feng rides the riverfront briefly, speaking with officers who need to hear from him. He exchanges few words, then withdraws to prepare new contingencies. The man who addresses the flank is 5,000 man commander Chen Yu. He stands on a berm of dirt and broken shields. His voice is raw. He has not slept in 2 days, and it shows. Yesterday many of you were recruits, and today you are veterans. The enemy tasted blood here. They will come again, harder. He lifts his chin towards the horizon. They will try to break us early. Hold until the sun drops and the kingdom still breathes. The remaining soldiers fall to step beside you as you walk to the assigned position. You got us through yesterday. Whatever's coming, I'm with you. We all are. You answer without thinking. We all go home, all of us. They don't contradict you. Far down the basin, dust clouds rise. It begins again. How do you prepare for the second day? Let's dread of new formation and learn about yesterday's lessons. Not sure how aggressive this will do for us, but we'll go with that. You pull battered units inward, shape them into a compact, disparate knot built to absorb shock. The work steadies you. Around you, the flank completes its grim preparations. Men check straps with trembling fingers. Officers shout their last orders. The wounded are pulled back. The dead are pushed aside. Somebody nearby mutters a prayer to ancestors. Another splits into the mud and grips his spear tighter. The dust clouds on the horizon grow larger. Closer, the drums begin. Jin Haron wastes no time. The moment light reaches the basin, he sends pressure forces against the left and centre, just enough infantry to pin them down and keep them from reinforcing anyone else. But for the right flank, something else is coming. 3 columns of elite cavalry sweep along the basin at full speed. The hoofbeats come in rolling waves, shaking the mud under your feet. The lances catch the early light in a long, unbroken line. They are here to break you apart, to shatter your line and scatter your forces before the rest of the army can react. This is the thing every infantryman fears. Not duels, not sieges, not even overwhelming numbers, but cavalry. When horses hit an infantry line at full gallop, they don't break formations, they erase them. Lances punch straight through shields, hooves come down on men who are already down. The weight and speed turn human bodies into paste. You've heard the stories, the sound of hundreds of lives ending in the same instant. And now you're about to hear it for yourself. Your heart is going so hard you can feel it in your throat. Everything in you says run, but you plant your feet because if you run, everyone dies. If you hold, maybe some of you survive. Shields up, right flank, and brace, cavalry incoming. Your surviving soldiers tense beside you, wide-eyed but holding position. This is the first blow of the day and is meant to kill you. How do you meet the charge? Lock shields take the impact. That's not going to matter a damn thing against war horses. We can pull back 2 steps and survive the charge. That feels cowardly. Break the momentum before impact. If horses don't go at full speed, that might work for us. You shout for javelins, stones, anything that can disrupt their advance. A single broken stride can save 10 lives. The ground begins to shake. The sound of the hooves in your chest and bones before it's in your ears. There is no more adjusting now, no more thinking. The cavalry hits. We've had some bad rolls, give me something to work with. 12. We're still injured though. But we hold at 12. That's a success. With cost. Your formation absorbs the impact. A rider's stirrup catches one of your soldiers in the chest and drops him gasping into the mud. He gets back to his feet and unsteady. The cavalry scatter past you and begin circling for another approach. The line wavers, but it does not collapse. The cavalry do not retreat. They circle instead, reforming, testing, waiting for the infantry that will come in behind them. Your men gathering close to catch their breath. For a moment, no one is sure who is still standing. Huang Yao spits blood from his lip and wipes mud from his face. The shock of the charge fades. Your men reset their stances, shaking out their arms, stealing glances at the riders still circling beyond the line. The dust rises again past the cavalry's path. More shapes moving, more banners, more steel. Midday is not going to give you rest. The sun barely rises above the basin before the next wave strikes. The cavalry never left. They spent the morning circling, slashing at weak patches, trampling the wounded, forcing officers to redirect lines again and again. Every minute chips away at the right flank's strength. Bodies lie in clattered clusters across the mud. Dozens. Hundreds. Farther along the bend, 2 entire companies have run before they can reset their shields. A mounted hammer crashes into a 100-man formation and breaks it apart in seconds. The air fills with dust and screams. Your sector holds, but barely. Your men breathe in ragged bursts, armors dented, shields splintered. A few of the soldiers around you, the ones who survived the morning, keep glancing towards the horizon, like they're waiting to see something they already know is coming. Then you hear it. New drums, a deeper rhythm. Infantry. Jin Hairon has timed his assault perfectly, while the cavalry keeps your flank twisted and desperate. 5,000 infantry advance behind them. Shields locked, spears forward, banners rippling in the heat. 2 pushers at once, that is the point of it. 3,000-man Commander Shaolin rides past at full speed, shouting orders to tighten the bend. He cuts down, a rider on the move, but even he looks strained. Hold the line, close the gaps, bring the reserves forward. The enemy is pushing through. Brace their brace. The battlefield fractures. Cavalry remnants slam into weakened pockets. Infantry crash forward in a wedge formation, meant to split the flank completely. Your sector is hit by both. Soldiers are seriously wounded. That's not good. One of our soldiers is gravely wounded. Although that might be me, I'm not sure. Hooves thunder past your left, slashing exposed sides. A wall of infantry slams into your front, spears jabbing over shattered shields. Every step you take costs more than the last one did. The right flank starts losing formation, the line bends then buckles. The weight is too much. A cavalry rider breaks through the line ahead of you, cutting down 2 soldiers before spinning in the mud. And in that chaos, one of your own is struck. A blade, a shout, mud up in the air. You don't see it happen clean. When it clears, young Kui is on the ground, trying to push himself upright when the fight moves around him. You do not have time to reach him. Infantry press in again. Cavalry wheel for another pass. Your commander's voice rings out raw and desperate. Hold the right. Hold it. The dead are piling faster than the living can step around them. Your breath burns, your arms shake, your formation narrows without you ordering it to. The sun is barely up. This feels like a little bit of a lost cause, but we'll see. Infantry crash into your front. Cavalry remnants cut across your side. Your formation strains under the weight of 2 enemy forces hitting at once. Your commander's voice cracks across the chaos. Hold the right, close the gaps, do not let them through. You must act before the line splits completely. What do we do? Open the line, bait them into the mud. Drive forward a few spaces to interrupt the infantry momentum. We're going to tighten formation here. This is what we're good at. You shout and drive your men forward, inward, forcing the shields to overlap until there's no space left between them. Wood grinds against wood, spears angle forwards through narrow gaps. If they want to split you, they'll have to earn it. There is no time to reconsider. Infantry are already mid-stride, cavalry are already turning for the next pass. The air compresses around you, sound arrows to impact and breath. They are here, the enemy hits. Okay, 14 is pretty good. We're still injured, and one of our units is injured, but we hold a 14. That's another success with cost. You're maneuvered by space, but only barely. You force your men tighter, bracing against infantry strikes. A rider lunges in. You block him with a desperate shove, and another spear nearly finds your ribs but glances off a broken shield. The line around you groans under the weight, but it does hold. Heavy casualties spread along the flank. You hear officers calling for medics, for reinforcements, for anything. Your men are breathing hard, armour caked, mud splattered, but alive. The battle grinds on. Infantry continues pressing. Cavalry circle again, preparing a third sweep. The right flank is bleeding faster than officers can plug new holes. A horn sounds on the enemy side, deep, rolling and triumphant. New banners rise across the basin. The enemy general is not finished. The sun begins its slow fall. The killing does not slow. The right flank is collapsing. Miday's assault left heaps of bodies scattered across the bend. Cavalry remnants still dart through gaps, cutting whatever they find. Infantry wedge deeper with each push, spears dripping with mud and blood. You men fight on instinct, they are not choosing targets anymore. They are swinging at whoever gets close. Then you see it. New banners rising across the enemy ridge. 10,000 infantry, marching in full blocks ready to wipe you out. Animal General Jin Ha-ron means to break the right flank before sunset and end the battle today. Formations around you sag under sight. One group stumbles back without thinking. Another begins shouting for officers. The wounded sit down and stare, too drained to stand. If this wave hits alone, the flank dies. A horn stands behind you, sharp and commanding. General Kai Feng arrives like a thunderclap. He charges down the ridge at the head of 4,000 or 5,000 reserves. The last strength your army has left. His elite guard form a steel wedge around him. Shields raised, blades ready. Wherever his horse passes, exhausted soldiers straighten. Terror loosens its grip. The line pulls taut again. He plunges straight into the collapsing section of the flank, cutting down 3 men with the first sweep of his blade. His elite slam into the infantry behind him, stopping the wedge that was seconds from opening the line. The impossible happens. The right flank steadies. You can feel it happen. Men shout in relief. Your own unit adjusts formation without being told. Then the enemy reacts. A cluster of infantry surge at the general, desperate to cut him down. He wheels his horse, parries one spear, slashes another attacker across the chest. A third blade gets through. It tears across his ribs, his armour splits, blood down his flank. A cry goes up from the soldiers near him. He does not fall. He drives his sword through the throat of the man who cut him. His elites close around him, shields up, pulling him deeper into the formation so they can keep fighting. Blood trails behind him in the mud. The men on the flanks still see him up. Every soldier fights harder because he still lives. But the surge of hope lasts only seconds because something else enters the battlefield. A figure walking through the bodies towards your sector, moving with terrible purpose. Yan's 3,000-man commander, Zhao Feng. He cuts his way through your sector, each step leaving another soldier broken in the mud. You don't notice him at first, but you're too busy fighting for breath. Too busy holding what little formation remains. But one of your men sees him. We've lost a soldier. One dead, one gravely wounded. Damn. The size, the armour, the blade already dripping, he understands what he's looking at. Qian, he screams. You turn. He doesn't wait for your order or for you to react, he is already moving. He lunges forward with a raw, terrified shout, trying to intercept the monster bearing down on you. Zhao Feng barely slows. His blade moves once, too fast to see properly. Your man goes down in a single stroke, and then his eyes look on you. Damn. Zhao Feng steps over the body of your fallen soldier, one splashing against his greaves. He raises his chin slightly, looking at you the way a man looks at a task he already knows he can finish. Behind him, cavalry wheel for another sweep. Infantry crash into battered lines. Your general bleeds somewhere behind a wall of shields. In the pocket of the ground between you, nothing else is happening. Only him, only you. The remaining soldiers shouting your name. You can hear their shouting. You can't hear the words. The enemy commander lowers his blade. A challenge. The duel begins. For the second time. The commander comes forward in a steady advance, his blade drifting in loose, confident arcs. He's measuring you, how you stand, whether you'll break before he has to touch you. You tighten your grip on your weapon. Your boots sink into the wet earth as he closes the final steps. How do you meet his opening test? We're going to read the opening and punish the pattern. You don't give ground this time, you watch the shift you remember, the slight lean, the tail before the strike. If he repeats it, you'll be there first. The battlefield doesn't stop for you, infantry still scream, cavalry still circle, your general bleeds somewhere behind a wall of shields. But none of that matters now. He takes one step forward, then another, the space between you collapses. There is no retreat, no help is coming your way. Our rolls have been dreadful today. That's going to be a fail. You're wounded, enemy gains momentum. You block the first strike, but it shakes your entire arm. The commander presses forward, reading the hesitation in your step. He grins. He has measured you. The commander shifts his weight, his stance drops lower. His blade tilts down and forward. He is done testing you. All that noise, he growls, and you're just another pest to crush. Several enemy soldiers hold their fighting and watch. The remaining men hold their breath. No one intervenes. This duel is now a spectacle, the kind armies remember. His boots carve deep trenches into the mud as he rushes forward, blade raised for a killing stroke. How do you answer his charge? Ride out the charge, overwhelm him, or adjust your read. We're defensive, we're fairly cunning, we're disciplined, and we've got formation, but that doesn't work well for a one-on-one. What do we do? Stay grounded, ride out the charge. This is what we're good at. You tighten your guard and absorb the uncertainty. What you knew is no longer enough, so you let the charge come and refuse to be moved by it. You need one clean instant, nothing more. He surges forward. The watching soldiers fall silent, as if the entire flank is holding its breath. You feel the killing weight of its next swing before it even lands. Please, work with me here. Oh, a 20! Is that a natural D20? I'll take that. We might not win this, but I'll take a 20. You meet his charge with perfect timing. Your blade slams into his gauntlet, biting into the seam, and blood runs dark beneath the armour. The watching soldiers murmur, then fall quiet again, as if afraid to distract him. He is bleeding now. The commander circles you with slower, heavier breaths. Blood drips from his arm in thick, dark lines. The battle around you has gone distant. The shouting is muffled. You can hear your own heartbeat clearer than any of it. The sun is dropping. The mud at your feet has turned the colour of rust. There is nothing left in you but a refusal to fall. He raises his blade again. His voice is quiet. Fall. And you don't. Your arms are shaking. Your breath is scraping your throat. The mud pulls at your feet. He comes. How do you face the blow? We could move first. We could slip and strike. Or hold and believe we can take it. I believe we can take it. We're going to keep going with defensiveness, discipline, and formation. You turn your guard and stay where you are. Everything in you says move, but you don't. You'll take the blow on your guard and pray it doesn't break you first. If he ever commits even for a heartbeat, you'll be there to answer it. You don't know if that moment will come. The sun dips lower. For a fraction of a second, both armies slow. Everyone sees this. He steps in, and you do not retreat. The final exchange begins. Please, we had a 20 before. Don't let me down now. That's a 6. Oh, but we've got momentum. Where did we get momentum from? Crazy. You take the weight of his strike and hold. This time the counter is there. In the moment that decides it, your strike lands clean. He roars and the sound carries across the basin. Enemy soldiers stop moving. Your men stare. He drops to one knee. His eyes lock with yours. Whatever in them is not one thing. Then he falls towards the mud. The right flank's executioner is dead at your feet. Your arm goes numb. As the adrenaline drains, you almost collapse beside him. Sunset horns echo across the basin. Enemy formations falter the moment their commander falls. Cavalry return and infantry retreat in shock. The right flank should have died today, yet it stands. Across the basin, General Jin Ha-ron tears a banner from a subordinate's hand and flings it into the mud. He is visible even at that distance. General Kai Feng is carried from the front, bleeding and half-conscious. No one knows if he will live to see the morning. However, you are still breathing. The river still holds. Night falls on the river bend. Torches blaze along the river bend, flooding the mud with trembling light. And no one sleeps. No one sits unless their legs give out beneath them. The enemy might attack in the dark, and every wounded breath knows it. Medics sprint through the muck, hands red to the wrists. Quartermasters shout for water, for cloth, for wood, for splints. Stretcher men stumble past carrying men who no longer scream. Your general is gone from the front line. Rumours whisper through exhausted ranks. Still breathing, lost too much blood, tent sealed, no word. No one knows if he will see morning, and your unit is no longer whole. Every report is carried to Dai Ming, the 5,000-man commander of the Central Forces, now commanding the entire riverfront. He stands with arms crossed, listening to casualty lists delivered under flickering torchlight. Right flank, 45,000 lost or wounded. Reserves nearly spent. Left and centre holding for now. Enemy movements unclear. He gives no speeches, he simply nods once. A man preparing to shoulder dawn itself. Mud shifts behind you. Shen Yu, commander of the battered right flank, approaches. His armour is dented, his ribs bound in tight white cloth. Soot streaks his face. He walks like a man held together by will alone. He stops before you. I saw him fall, he says. He means the enemy's 3,000-man commander. Your efforts made a difference, made him hesitate, and that hesitation brought our general seconds he turned into survival. His hand settles on your shoulder, firm and heavy. General Kai Feng saved the right flank, but you struck something they thought unbreakable. You heard their spirit. Everyone on this front felt it. He winces as he breathes and continues. When the general wakes, if he wakes, he'll hear your name. I'll see to it. He begins to turn away, then pauses waiting. How do you respond? What would you have me do tomorrow? You stay focused on the next fight. A thin smile crosses his face. A soldier who thinks ahead. Good. Be ready to move fast when the horns sound. The night stretches on. Your surviving men gather closer, and the dark feels hostile. Across the river, enemy torches sway in long, jagged lines. Drums throb irregularly. War cries erupt without warning, stabbing the nerves of every soldier still conscious. Some men shout back in frustration, "If you're coming, come already." Others whisper in fear, "Face us." No attack follows. The enemy general knows exactly what he's doing, keeping you awake, keeping you afraid, letting exhaustion become another weapon. Eyes blur, limbs shake, your wounds sob with each drumbeat. Fatigue wraps around you like a soaked cloak. But the right flank still stands, barely, and dawn is coming. And we're on to day 3. We will call things apart there. More to come soon indeed. I'm really liking this. I like these kind of dramatic last fights to the death. We're just about holding on for now. We've had some pretty crummy dice rolls, but we did get a natural D20, which then became a 19, which became a 20 again. Progress. Not winning, but survival. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.